How you doing?
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
I hope you have a good day.
Hope you have a better week.
I hope your month is full of successful days and a lot of great ventures. I hope you just come up, brother.
I hope your whole fucking year is spectacular.
Oh, you hope my year is spectacular.
Yeah.
You got something you want to say?
You got something?
Usually there's a riddle to end the episodes. I'm going to disappoint people because we know who is in the finals, because before we get in there, we have a second chance episode. And that's all the second place people who fell in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and the 2010s. So I'm just going to release that real quick, show you who's coming up. So first, he was right there.
Yes.
In 2010s, one Mr. John Wick from the 2000s, Jason Bourne from the 90s. Makes me so damn happy when Rick O'Connell from The Mummy, because the man is underrated.
I thought that was Michael Jackson from the Thriller video.
That is hilarious. And very surprisingly to me, losing out to Dutch from the 1980s, it's one John McClane. And the last two will be determined very soon. We're going to take some of the suggestions from this episode and the other episodes of people that never got even a chance to give the final two shots. And two of these characters will be joining the four winners from each decade, but for Paige, for Kate, for Ryan, Moose, and... What up, family? It's your boy Amarú, and we are back, and we are late, but we are here anyway for our second chance bracket of One Gotta Stay's One Action Hero Tournament. If you've been with us, you've seen that we've gone through the 4 decades and got 4 finalists from the 80s, the 90s, to 2000s, the 2010s, and last week. One Mr. Ethan Hunt beat out a gauntlet of great action characters to get that 4th spot. But this week, we still need to fill out 2 more spaces, and what we're going to do, as seen in the video, is my great panel is going to pick from 4 of the second place finishers through this tournament and a couple wild cards. One Mr. John Wick, Jason Bourne, Rick O'Connell, John McClane, and we've added Trinity from The Matrix. And I felt bad not having JCVD on this tournament. So Chance Boudreaux from Hard Target, Mark Ellis, you are welcome. So that is what we're doing today. But before we get into it, my panel, this is not a white woman from Boston. It is instead a black man from Cleveland, but probably the dude you see more often on the show besides a white woman from Boston. What, Mr. Matt Thomas? Matt,
yeah, and we weren't late because of me this time. Let that be known. It was not my fault. I am not the black man to blame.
There's a black. You got to call out the other black man to blame. It's fine. It's fine.
Hey,
Go
there's
ahead.
you too. There could have been you. There could have been you.
It could have been, but it wasn't. How you feeling, man?
I'm doing all right. How about you, bro?
I'm doing good. Good to have you back as always. Next to him, if Paige was here, we would have had a usual suspect rookie reunion. But we got the other one over there. One Mr. Frankie Alvarez. Love to have him. My guy. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. Thank you for having me. I'm glad we're able to do this again. There was a fun time last time, and I'm ready to scream a little bit, wake up the kids upstairs.
Have the just kids come down and scream for you. That'll work too.
Careful what you wish for.
Right below him, from First Cut, my man, my swaggy brother. I have a huge suspect. I had to have one of my swag surfers with me, Andres Ace Cabrera. Andres, your first time on. I appreciate you, sir. How you feeling? How you feeling about being on the show today?
Oh, I'm excited, man. This is a lot of fun. Obviously, I love action movies, and all these characters are absolutely amazing. So I'm excited to talk about them.
All right. And below me, if you know him, you know why he's here. He is the one that's gonna scream. It's my man, one Mr. Philadelphia, Bill Cariola. Bill, how you feeling?
I mean, I'm fine. I've been taking a lot of yoga lately, so I'm pretty chill. I'm pretty all right. But I did quit smoking for 10 minutes, and I'm pissed. So, it's fine. So, yeah, I don't know. It wasn't for me.
Probably quit smoking a lot. But yeah, that's fine. That's cool.
I tried that once, and then my blood just started itching. So it's like it's fine.
Maybe we can get you to quit a mid team like the Philadelphia Phillies next.
Possibly.
Hey, our Guardians beat them in the series this weekend. So
I'm supporting the Phillies right here. This is their single A affiliate, baby. The Jersey Shore Blue Claws. What's up?
Then why you just
I'm a Yankee fan. I gotta bust your chops. I gotta bust.
Oh my God!
Let's go. And I don't even care about baseball, but it's fine. And we do have one other person who will be represented here. He'll either be here in person or he won't, and we'll let him know. But one Mr. RB3. Hopefully he makes it. Hope you're doing good, sir. Hope you get on. If not, you're with us in spirit. That's the black man that we were waiting on. But it's okay. It's okay. You are here to see what we chose to say. So let's just get it started. And you know what? I'm gonna be nice and I'm gonna go first. So for me here, this was almost just a gang of riches when it came to these characters. So I'm getting rid of somebody that is extremely badass, extremely great, but just barely missed out going a little higher. So for me, Trinity had to be number 4. Look, I again, it's just a victim of circumstance of the people that are in front of her. She is absolutely amazing in all 3 films, actually. I kind of like Reloaded and Revolutions. And she shows her worth again and again and again. Resurrections was
4 films. 4 films. 4 films.
I was gonna say I'm getting there. Resurrections, little weird. Slightly.
Resurrections is beautiful. You shut your whore mouth.
I'm saying what she does, where she goes is a little left and a little weird, and I kind of was like,
shut your mouth.
I don't know about all this. She kind of got superpowers, and we're trying to get away from superpowers on this one. So it was like, but she always was badass. She always stepped up, but it just wasn't enough to go in front of the other. There's nothing but gentlemen. The other 3 gentlemen ahead. So that is why I had Trinity at number 4. Did anybody else have Trinity at number 4? Frankie. Oh, we don't like women, I guess.
Careful. Woo! Careful that one. No, I just listen. This isn't taken away from her character, but I just feel like she's a you know, a statue among statues here. Like in terms of like. She is a god amongst other gods, and it's just a matter of the rankings at that point. I appreciate Trinity and her role in the movies. I do. I'm not as big of a fan of 2 and 3 as you are, clearly. But what do you want me to say? She's not the first to go for me. I'm putting that out there. But actually, fuck, I messed up. I
know, but I was gonna let you keep going because your actual 4 will be a little later. But just to say, you actually have her at 5.
I do. I have her
at 5. So just keep it going. Look, I just want to have
at least she ran with it.
I'm tired, but listen, nonetheless, I like Trinity. 2 and 3, not my style. I couldn't watch. Yeah, there we go. I couldn't watch Resurrections personally. It was unwatchable. Nonetheless, just not. I'll pretend she was at my 4.
Yeah, we'll pretend until your 4 comes up.
Respect that.
Rue, I appreciate you letting me roll with that, and you're not just like straight out calling me out for being an idiot there.
I did look at my phone just to be like, that doesn't look right, but it's okay. It's okay. Right. We're gonna keep it rolling. So nobody else has Trinity at number 4. I do know 2 people have this person at number 4. So RB3's 4. The person who also has this person, go ahead and just step in for number 4 because theirs was Chance Boudreaux. Who else had Chance at their number 4?
Let's talk about one Mr. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Thank you very much. Let's talk about this movie. This movie was fucking robbed at the Oscars. Also, that mullet, Hall of Fame mullet.
That is a
Hall of Fame mullet. That thing is glorious. Forget the time cop mullet. That thing was horseshit. Not only does this man punch a snake in the face, he also somehow kills a guy with like that whole scene at the end where Lance Henderson died with the grenade that he pulls the pin out, but it still magically makes the fucking gas blow up. I don't give a fuck. It's amazing. He beats the shit out of the mummy. He's got Mr. Diabetes on his side, and he rides a motorcycle on his feet with no hands because physics. It's for horse shit. That's what that is. So I love this. I love Jean-Claude Van Damme. I'm sorry. Pre-2000 Jean-Claude Van Damme, that man was fucking bulletproof. And there was no way he wasn't going in my top 4. Just not a chance. So
I feel like that is rude, and I feel like your pick is weird. I'm going to say this now. I'm surprised that this man is this hot. That's what I'm going to do. How
He
is this
does
man
the
this
splits.
high?
My 5 and 6 don't do the splits. I'm just saying.
Bro, come on.
I could never consider putting Jean-Claude Van Damme this high in my life.
So let's correct that. Let's correct that. I would put Jean-Claude Van Damme that high. It's Chance Boudreaux, who I didn't know his name until Mark Ellis said his name like 3 weeks ago. I have no idea who this guy is.
Oh, well, then you don't watch it like once every other year like I do. So.
Listen up. I'm gonna say something that might ruffle a little bit of feathers, but it is what it is. And I'm not a fan. I'm not a big JCVD fan, if I'm being honest with you. Okay, but Steven Seagal did his shtick a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a big Steven Seagal fan either. So you know, I don't think 4 is generous. If you're asking me,
Steven Seagal. What's the weather like with your head up your ass? Steven Seagal? Are you out of your? Have you seen anything that man has done?
Oh no,
At all?
Let me be very clear about something. Outside of his movies, and most of his movies, clear
all
idiot.
his movies.
Clear idiot.
Like
Clear idiot.
Ones.
Clear idiot. But JCVD, he takes himself a little too serious sometimes, you know, and like it's not for me. I didn't know this character. I had to look it up. I was like, this is insane. 4 is generous. I'm not even going to tell you where mine was, but I think my tone, you know, I'm not gonna mess this one up. I'm not gonna fuck this one up.
I think you and I, because I'll be honest. I've seen one JCVD film in my life, and that was Expendables 2. And I've purposely avoided JCVD because anytime I hear him talk, I feel like I got dumber. So I am going to keep with that personal choice in life and never touch a JCVD film ever.
All I know, all I know is that
sudden
Seagal's
death.
Listen, my friend, the best thing that we've gotten because of JCVD is actually a mistake because he was supposed to be in it and he wasn't, and that's Mortal Kombat, baby. And
I was about to say,
I
was going to say it was a Christian Harloff interview. You want cookies? I said yes. You want milk? I said yes. That's what I know. That's best thing I could think of for him.
Look, here's the deal. With both Seagal and JCVD, they were both in this tournament, and both of their characters, I did not know their names until somebody suggested it. So I would have JCVD above him, but yet and still, I don't know. You ruffle feathers, so Frankie, let's actually get to the feathers you're about to ruffle with your actual number 4.
Yeah, listen. Now, I hate to do this to people out there. I'm a child of the 90s. And a lot of stuff that came out in the 80s, I missed out on a little bit because, as you know, Philadelphia just said, my head was pretty far up my own ass. It was, you know, a lot of yoga it took to get there, but it was quite enjoyable for me. That's why my number 4, although I see the appreciation, my number 4 is John McClane. Now,
boy, you better take your ass and
now listen, John McClane. Don't get me wrong. Die Hard 1, Die Hard 2, iconic pieces of cinema.
Die Hard 3 isn't bad either. It's not
okay.
bad.
It's
okay.
not
bad. It's
You're
not
right.
bad.
It ain't bad.
Best.
You're right. It ain't bad.
You're
right. It ain't bad. But I'm gonna say it. He's like a wart on your ass that refuses to go away. Okay, no. And everything after Die Hard 3, you're just like, God Almighty, what is going on here?
You are out your damn mind.
Because
Live Free and Die Hard.
Right now, he's
Live Free and Die Hard is watchable. It's not good, but it's watchable.
Oh, okay, great. I don't want my movies to be watchable. I want them.
I do, as long as it's watchable. I can have some form of good time. So and Timothy Olyphant is in that movie is awesome.
Listen. Here's the thing. After 3. John McClane is what I like to call in movies. He's got the Taco Bell effect. You see it, you're like, okay, this ain't bad. And then as soon as you walk out, it's out your system, baby. It goes right through you. And that's why I put him at 4. Listen, he wasn't 5 and 6. He could have been worse. I could have given the man more disrespect, but I understand. I appreciate John McClane's his part of history in cinema, but I got other people above him.
This is just a Jersey boy, Matt. He's not from New York.
You didn't.
Well, I'm born and bred in New York, bitch. Don't do that, all right?
So you chose to move to Jersey?
Listen, real estate is a lot cheaper out here. I met a woman that stole I met a woman that stole my heart, and I live in South Jersey, where I don't live in the North Jersey fucking dirtball slums. Okay, I live in South Jersey, where it's beautiful.
Yeah, come to Philly. We have good food.
My question is, you didn't like John McClane hitting a helicopter with a car?
Right.
That didn't do it for you?
You know, at that point,
You didn't like him shooting himself through a shoulder saying "Yippee-ki-yay, mother."
And that's how they used it to bleep out the only F word because we had to sand off all the edges because we wanted to appeal to like a younger audience that doesn't give a fuck about this. I fucking hate that movie.
Listen,
You sound like an old curmudgeon.
Let me ask you. I'm not going to give away who my 1, 2, and 3 picks are, but as we go along, you will hear them and they will reveal themselves. And I will ask you this: name a movie from any of those individuals that is outright bad. And that's the way that I thought about it. The way that I thought about it was like, all right, I see these characters. They're meaningful. They are iconic, but are they in bad movies?
They are.
Bitch.
I will get to that one. One went straight to mind very easily. But look, it seems like, Matt, you don't have it. But Ace, what about you? You've been sitting down there. Do you have McClane at 4? Or do you have somebody else?
Well, guess what? I agree with everything you just said. I have John McClane.
Hey, you lost my respect.
I just stayed quiet.
Hey, you lost my respect, man.
I just let you take the heat. I was like, why do I jump in? Why? He's taking the hit.
Smart man.
And then I'll come in and save the day. To me, this is like, all right, I'm reading the title. This says one action hero. When you think one action hero, I'm sorry, but you don't think John McClane. There are several people on this list I would put above him, and I did put above him. I almost had him at number 5. I just feel like he is not that guy. He's not that dude. He's just not. That's just facts.
John McClane, out of this list, John McClane is the action hero to me. The fuck?
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like you get a good recipe and then you figure out how to do it a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Ace, I'm right there with you, baby.
Yeah, I just feel like when it comes to like, he always gets brought up when it's like he's just a regular guy who did a crazy thing, and I'm like, that's kind of it though. That doesn't make you one action hero. Like, all right, cool.
Oh, fine, sure. This slander is hurting my heart. Matt, hurt it some more.
Oh, I'm gonna piss people off at this. So I'll just be honest. My number 4 is probably one of the most recent action series, and if that doesn't give it away, I don't know what does. Because John Wick was my number 4 because
no, just no.
What in the entire
no.
What?
No. Oh my god. Fine, dude. Fine. Go. I don't understand, but go.
You might not understand it, but here I will be honest.
What? I'm kidding.
Here's the thing. Keanu's great in those movies. Fine. No matter, I have no issue admitting that. That series is, to me, one that kind of overstayed its welcome. I did not need a damn near 3-hour 4th film. That movie was just self-indulgent. The moment he fell down those stairs, the moment he fell down those stairs, I just put my head down and I was like, I was really hoping this was about to be over. Because I'll be honest, I hate the 4th movie. I hate it. There have been 3 movies I've gone back on and recanted on my initial ratings for them, on my reviews. That is Ant-Man, that is The Flash, and that is John Wick Chapter 4. 3 was fine. I've seen 3 twice, and the second time was before my screening of 4. I've seen 4 once and have no plans to revisit them. I watch 1 and 2 fairly frequently. Those are 2 great movies to me. I don't care for the rest of them as much. I could give 2 shits about John Wick.
Oh my gosh. John Wick 4 is one of the best movies this year so far. It's an amazing action.
I ain't saying much.
I just okay, sure. Anyway, that's fine, I guess. He was the last one to go, so we got through our 4s, and we are swinging today. So for me, I got rid of Trinity, which did hurt. Both RB3 and Bill have Chance Boudreaux, which again, I'm surprised the other way around. And then something happened. I don't know how it happened, but it did. Frankie and Ace have John McClane at number 4, and Matt has John Wick. Oh, okay. You know what? That's fine. It's okay. So Ace, go ahead. We'll get the heat on you a little bit. Go over to your number 3, sir.
Oh, my number 3. Awesome.
Yes, go over to number 3.
Oh, I'm going to get a lot of heat for this. I already know. My number 3 is Rick O'Connell from the Mummy franchise. And
No,
this guy is facing off against the undead back-to-back movies. He is the absolute scourge of ancient pharaohs. He is shooting, doing one-liners, absolute badass. His whole family's involved. He's chilling with his wife. I mean, his relationship with his wife is like one of the best we've ever seen in cinema. I mean, that's a fact. So I don't know, man. How many action stars do we see like going back to back with his wife as if he's, partners in crime? I absolutely love Rick, and I do feel like the Mummy franchise is underrated. So shout out to Rick.
Yeah.
He's not my 3, but I was going back and forth based off of where I put him. But yeah, no hate from me there.
Does anybody else have Rick O'Connell at their number 3 besides me?
Oh, there you go.
Come on.
Look. I still play trivia, and my team name is wrong side of the fucking river because the Mummy and Rick O'Connell are just so damn good. It is the only indie knockoff. It's not a knockoff. It's fucking amazing.
Yep.
It is dead to rights. I love Brendan Fraser. I think he has all the charisma. You want to call a movie that's bad, though. Tomb of the Dragon Emperor Warrior, whatever the fuck you want to call that thing. It is horrible.
It's misunderstood. It is misunderstood.
It is
because it's bad. That's what happens when you make a bad movie.
So bad.
I understand it's horseshit.
You recast Rachel Watt. Nope. No.
But that's the bad movie that I was talking about that was quick to come to mind. But this man, when he was in the 90s, everybody's like, what's Rick O'Connell doing there? And everybody had him second place behind Sarah Connor. Everybody, except maybe one person. Because that man is a boss, and he's great. It's just again, in my position, there are so many great action heroes in this bracket because they all were second place that it's hard to pick and choose. I love me some Rick O'Connell. I love all the one line. Not right now, it isn't. The Mummy has so many damn good lines, and he delivers them so well. I just have 2 favorites in front that just make me happier. Then maybe none of them make me happier. Just make me feel like I can't in good conscience put Rick in front of them. I'm sorry.
You also need to factor in his killer ride at Universal Studios Orlando. Keep that in mind. That's one of the best rides. One of the best rides in the park.
I think that is the last time I went there. That was the newest ride. It's been a really, really long time, and I remember the shit in LA.
Okay,
in LA. It's been a long time, but I still remember how good it was. But yes,
Nick, you can go away, and you wonder why I don't come to Bitesize.
It is not laughable. Rick O'Connell is that dude. He's just not like the top dude, but he's that dude, and he deserves respect. So it makes my heart weep that is happening. But with that, we're gonna go over to Bill. Talking all this mess, and I just got reminded who your number 3 is, fam. Come on.
It's John McClane.
Come on, man.
Piss
what
off.
are you doing?
All right, here's the thing. Die Hard is a perfect movie. I will not yield my time on that. You will not follow that up. It is just scientific fact. It is flawless. Love every minute of it.
Yep.
That having been said, 2 is okay. 3 is okay. And then it just right off a goddamn cliff.
There you go.
3's it's a good time. But like you're comparing 3 to 1. It's like it's like comparing a can of soda to a Bugatti. I'm sorry, you just can't do it.
One of them is delicious, and the other one is expensive.
That's the idea, son. Yes, thank you for. Here's the thing, and I know you guys are all like harping on about like whatever, and I need to give you guys a history lesson. So here's the thing. I think if one thing has been unfairly erased from history, it's how fucking bizarre it was to put Bruce Willis in an action movie when it happened. This was the guy from Moonlighting.
Really bad.
Like
really bad.
He was his movie before was like Blind Date, which was like laughably terrible. He damn near was out of acting, and then they were like, "Hey, the the guy who was supposed to get this passed on it, because funny enough, it was actually supposed to be Frank Sinatra. And that's a long story I'll explain later. And they were like, and they offered it to everybody. Nobody wanted it. And they gave it to him. And it was just such a crazy cast. It's like, imagine if, I don't know, let's just say somebody made this crazy action. Let's say they made like Jason Bourne Part 5, but it's Michael Cera. Like, that's the only way I can explain how fucking weird this was. And he owned it, and it completely kickstarted his career into a whole second gear. And then we got The Last Boy Scout, which is like one of my fucking favorite movies of all time, and I will not hear some slander on that. And we got like a whole bunch of other great stuff. But Die Hard 1 is amazing, and that's the only reason why it's cracking my top 3, because fucking 4 is so bad. I've never bothered to see 5. And I just hear nothing but bad things about it.
Don't see 5. Don't see 5.
5. No. 5. No.
I had a choice to watch 5 or get a colonoscopy. I decided to get the colonoscopy.
You went with the right
Better
choice.
use of your time.
It really was. They found some stuff.
There you go.
Yikes.
Does anybody else have John McClane at their number 2?
No, but the only thing I want to say is, gentlemen, we all like to, go out to a nice restaurant with a friend, a partner, whomever. And we get, we're excited. We get there, we get this appetizer, and it's like, oh my God, this is the best plate of mozzarella sticks I ever had in my life. You're pumped. You're ecstatic. You're like, wow. The next course comes out, and you're like, all right, that's okay. And then the third plate comes out, and you're like, all right. And then dessert comes out, and it makes you shit your pants while you're sitting at the table. And then the next course after that, that's the Die Hard series, man. That was a beautiful plate of fucking mozzarella sticks. And boy, oh boy, it was stringy cheese and beautiful marinara and everything. And it was crunchy. And then you wind up with, just a gelatinous plate of mud for dessert with 4 or 5 and onward.
I think you're slightly confused. So Die Hard 1 is they literally started off with the prime rib. And then with Die Hard 2, they brought in a fucking baked potato. For your
Careful with that big potato slander.
And then 3, it was like, nachos. It's cool. And then 4 was diarrhea on a plate.
Wait, you like baked potatoes more than nachos?
What's that?
You like baked potatoes more than nachos?
No, I don't. I'm just saying. It's all out of order.
Take them out the screen, Rue. Take them out the screen.
No. That only applies to you and what you did. Frankie, I want to see what your food analogy is for your number 3. How does this one work?
Listen, man. We're all, besides Bill, who was apparently born in 1942, we're all children of the 90s, right? That's when we had the most enjoyable fun. So when we were coming of age, and we were running around, we were listening to our D4L, and Jesse McCartney was blasting on the MP3, and Hillary Duff was our crush. Who was right there along with us, baby? Who was right there along for the ride? That's the poor man's Ethan Hunt. And that's Jason Bourne. Okay. This man is consistent. What do you want here? The last time I was on, I used the same analogy, and I'm going to use it. What do you want with your action stars? Okay. Do you want a Miguel Tejada who's going to come in, have a great season, and then just peter off? Or do you want a Derek Jeter? Consistent 300 batting average for all my sport friends out there. All right. That's what you want. You want consistency. Jason Bourne, you're getting consistency. All right.
So you get to that 5th film.
Yeah. Well, there's stuff in there. We're not all perfect, Matt. We can't all be perfect and chiseled and hot like you. But
I am far from it. I am a fluffy man.
We can't all have an incredible head of hair like you and Rue. So, you want something that's just going to remind you of love, and having your Nextel 570 in your pocket, and and taking down like a really cool, like you turn on the TV and who's there? Oh, it's Triple H wrestling against John Cena. You don't want. Jason Bourne is the child in all of us, and that's why he's my number 3.
Wow. I'll tell you this, Matt. Do you have Jason Bourne at number 3?
Yes, sir. That was for the same reasons. I'm like, who was there for me before when I was first starting to get into action movies? Before I discovered Ethan Hunt and all, it was Jason Bourne. He was one of the first movies I saw by myself. Was Bourne Ultimatum.
I thought you said it was Backdoor Sluts 8. No? Different movie? Oh, okay.
But Matt, why are you lying? But it's okay.
Bourne Ultimatum was one of the first films I saw in theaters by myself. I first watched the Bourne Identity on a just car ride to Indiana. I was like, well, what movie? Well, I'll check out these spy movies. And I watched Bourne's Identity on the way there and Bourne Supremacy on the way back. I got hooked and I couldn't stop watching them.
I'm glad you were able to do something that was actually enjoyable going from Cleveland to Indiana, because that start and finish
Fort Wayne.
That made it worse.
Yep.
Good. Thank goodness you were able to get some like greatness in between that trip.
Yeah. But just besides Bond, Jason Bourne was like that intro to the action spy franchise to me, and always is gonna hold a special place in my heart. That's why it's my number 3. Like, no cap.
All right. Well, for RB3, he did not have Jason Bourne at number 3, and him not being here is a great thing because we can just skip over this craziness of John.
I love you, RB3.
The craziness can just go away, and we can just get moving on with our lives and do this quick recap where me and Ace, love letter to the man, but you had to go for Rick O'Connell. RB3 did whatever he did. Frankie and Matt have Jason Bourne, and Bill somehow loved him at 4, but not so much at 3. John McClane at number 3. So before we get into all the rest of our picks, please, if you haven't, like, subscribe, share this video, go check out bitesizebreakdown.com, me, Paige, and a whole lot of others. We have a lot of great content over there. We just had our Barbenheimer reviews go up for both incredible, well, at least incredibly like successful movies that came out this weekend. So go on the site, go check them out. And before, we might have to in terms of one of those films, because but before we get into our number 1s, we've been going around them. We have our 5 and 6s. So we're just going to quickly go over them real quick. And look, Chance Boudreaux had no chance of doing anything besides being number 6 in my mind. Here's the thing with Jason.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
he's kind of the same.
No.
He's kind of the same.
No.
In every movie. He's good. He's very good.
Go away, Rue. Go away.
But he kind of like I cannot differentiate Bourne Identity with Bourne Ultimatum with the last one. I can differentiate a little bit more. So I couldn't do anything else but put him at number 5 because as great as that man is, Jason Bourne just seems like the same dude over and over and over and over and over again. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. But as we bring him up, the man, the myth, the legend is here. One Mr. RB3.
What?
He has made it. He has made
Hour
it.
late.
Lovely. Right to get into.
My bad, y'all.
And you know what? Real quick, I wanted to skip over it, but I guess I can't now. So just really quickly, sir, you have John Wick at number 3?
Yeah. We're gonna get into it. You know what I mean? We're gonna get into it.
It's on you. It's on you now. How do you have John Wick at number 3?
Listen, man. Hey, man. Listen. It's that dog motivation. You can only hold on to that for so long. You know what I mean? When the dog getting stomped on in the first movie, it's 4 movies deep. You know what I mean? I don't know how long he's holding on to that. So I have to let that one. He is the dope. He is dope. But my top 2 are too hard to go on top of it. So
RB3 had him at 4, so you ain't alone for putting him that low.
See, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean.
Oh, all right, that's fine. Well, let's get into why you have Rick at 6. Come on, man.
Hey.
Go into why you have Jason at 5 and Rick at 6.
Okay, so Rick at 6. Listen, I love the Mummy movies. I don't know if I could trust that dude in the fight. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm riding that dude's coattail at the end of a zombie apocalypse. So like, I just gotta. I'm personally picking Rick as my lowest one. Obviously, they did a lot of cool things. They took down mummies. If you even count the Scorpion King, you know, they even took down the Rock. But yeah, that gotta be my number 5. And my number 4, personally, being Jason.
6 and 5.
Oh, 6 and 5. My bad. My 6 and 5. So my number 5 being Jason Bourne. yeah, that, you know, again, does a lot of cool things, a lot of globetrotting missions, you know what I mean? A lot of dope stuff around the world. But again, he's just a normal dude. I feel like the other people, you know, are much more super powered and able to do stuff. So I'm definitely rocking with them on that side.
All right, Frankie, woo. We kind of knew this because you gave it away. But go ahead and say your 5 and 6
What
one
in the
more
fuck
time.
is even any of this sentence that I'm looking at right now?
Listen,
I don't know.
I guess tip of the cap to Mr. Boudreaux, but JCVD didn't stand a chance. Let's be honest. And although I appreciate, you know, the iconic feminist character of Trinity and how she kind of paved the way for the early 2000s, you know, female action star. The second, third, and fourth movie are just not my thing, baby. You know, so it's, you know, no knock on her, but as a result of, as I said earlier, it's just a result of, you know, the other 4 people that I felt were just a little stronger than her.
I wasn't too far off, so I feel you. Matt, you feel the same way, sir?
I feel the exact same way as Frankie. I love Trinity. I actually like 1, 2, and 4. I don't care for 3 as much, but I do like 1, 2, and 4. So, and I'm like I said, I don't care a lick for Jean-Claude Van Damme. So that was just an easy out for me right there.
My heart is breaking here in that sentence.
That's because you're old, Bill.
Matt, you and I are like twins.
Just the fattest part of my old ass, sir.
Ace, you don't like Chance either. But we're on the same page here. What about you, sir?
Yeah, we have the exact same ones. It's for a reason. I mean, if you're seeing it right now, you're seeing a rhythm here. If you have to put the name of the character, then you don't belong on this list. And nobody knew this guy's name was Chance. So Jean-Claude Van Damme is at the bottom for me. And Jason Bourne, everything you guys said, RB3 said it, you said it, Amarú. I feel like he's just there. Like, he's just kind of there. So I don't really care for it.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, I care for it, but not as much as the other 4. Bill,
there it is.
We're all misogynist here, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I mean, apparently not you and RB3.
Yeah.
I had her at 4, so.
So here's my thinking. For Trinity at 6, she's a great character. I love the Matrix. Matrix 2 and 3 are so bad. It made me question what I liked about the first one, which is that you got to make some bad films to do that. And then I will admit, I actually did enjoy the 4th, but I've only seen it once. I think I need to revisit it, but I remember her not doing a whole hell of a lot. So that is the only reason why she's a 4. And then, you know, the first Mummy movie, I enjoy it more than all the Matrix movies. It's just fun. The second one's barely okay, except for when we get to PS1 fucking Dwayne Johnson, which is just so bad. And then the Mummy 3 is the drizzling shits. We can all agree on this, right? It is so bad. It is so bad.
I don't like this. I definitely don't like this. I don't like this slander.
I will just for 3, not for
you
Rick.
You know how hard you have to try to make me hate a fucking movie with Jet Li in it? You know how hard that is?
Yeah. Kind of.
I like war, goddammit. So you got to be real fucked up. I don't want to watch that movie.
Well, we've gotten through our 3s, our 4s, our 5s, and 6s. So let's just get down to business. Our number 1s, going into it, 2 of us saved John Wick. 2 of us saved John McClane. 1 saved Rick O'Connell, and which I love, but it was a surprise. And 1 saved Trinity. The man says 29 words over 4 movies, and he has more personality than a lot of people, and he's badass as shit. John Wick is the choice here.
No, he's not.
He is the choice. It was
him, and
it was John McClane, and it was going back and forth, and I could not pick John Wick because of just the badass.
One spans decades, one spans a decade. I don't care. He has like 1 or 2 good movies. I'm with RB3. That energy can only last for so long. I cannot put him anywhere near the first one.
The way it builds, the way that he comes back.
I don't care.
4 is just boring. Nothing beautiful. I love it.
It's boring. It's the same shit. He's killing the same motherfuckers over and over. He did gave his stuntmen jackets with how many times he killed each of them in this past movie alone. Fuck that shit. I'm tired of it.
I've never seen bulletproof suits until John Wick 4. And I'm telling you, I have not seen somebody survive so many falls but still look injured as shit. Movie after movie after movie. He just his character and his prowess just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And for McClane, why he's my number 2, I like 4. But the movie isn't great, but I actually really like the movie. 5 sucks ass, but John McClane is still an iconic character. He built Yippee-Ki-Yay. People say all that shit. He is the man. But John Wick's that dude. I'm sorry. He just is.
My thing is, there just wouldn't be a John Wick without a John McClane. You know,
bingo.
I think that's why he personally elevates to my number 1. There just wouldn't be that kind of impossible action hero thing without having John McClane at the forefront, starting with Die Hard. And I feel like that to me is why I put it as my number 1. Also, you know, as dope as John Wick is, he's not really outsmarting the bad guys in the same way John McClane. Just shooting through him. Yeah, just shooting through him. Yeah, he's using that gun fu, you know. So I really like the. I
have a beautiful dog named Cisco, Montyverse. So hush.
Yeah. Hey, what kind of dog you got though? What kind of dog is it?
Border Collie pit mix.
Hey,
she's named after the only black Star Trek captain, Benjamin Sisko.
Nice.
I have a cat named Booster Gold that has nothing to do with anything.
Guys, come on. What are we doing here? What are we doing here with John McClane at number 1? Listen, what did Aaron Eckhart say? What did Harvey Dent say in The Dark Knight? You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain. And that is what has happened with John McClane over the last nearly 2.5 decades. This guy has.
We haven't had a movie in literally a decade.
Oh, okay. We watched him up here, and it was like he was dripping the golden nectar from his teats. And that first movie is so good, and I'll give you that. But then you're like, oh my god, this nectar is a little sour. This, you know, and then you find out that you're sucking from the tit of just like a 99-year-old, you know, dead cat. All right, he stuck around a little too long. Can I talk about why I put Rick O'Connell?
Yeah, go ahead. Free fall.
He was close. I give you that, Frankie.
I don't know if you could tell about me, boys. I love nostalgia. I like to wake up and it's Fox Kids all over again. All right. It's my Yu-Gi-Oh! It's my Pokemon. It's my TMNT, the next mutation. Although it wasn't great, but it was still there. It made me feel at home. All right. And Rick O'Connell is that comforting blanket. And he's just look at the one-liners. You know what he is? He is Indiana Jones with a little fucking dash of something in there, baby. A little paprika thrown in there. A little fucking bang, a bong. You know what I'm saying? Just something to add a little more to make him a little more fun, if you ask me. And I keep going back to those Mummy movies because they're iconic. I'm playing through. I don't know if anyone here plays video games. I'm doing my playthrough of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and it feels so warm and comforting. And that's what Rick O'Connell feels like for me.
I have nothing to say against that man because
yeah,
I
me
love
neither.
him to death. I
do. It's called fucking the third film.
You like to hold one thing against the entire character, and that's some bullshit.
The second one also wasn't all that great. It's fine. It's just fine.
The second one is also actually really very good, but
it's
the character. A Good Day to Die Hard is trash, but I still had McClane at number 2. So, but the Emperor of the Dragon Tomb Warrior, whatever the fuck it's called, thing.
I'd rather pay a homeless man to punch me in the balls for 2.5 hours than watch that film.
We can make that happen, baby.
I'm trying to.
I'm like an hour 20 from you. We will make that work, my friend.
Ooh. Ace, you were the only one who had Trinity at number 1, and RB3, you had her at 2. But Ace, why did you have to pick Trinity?
I mean, you sent me that list. I'm gonna be real. This is all first reaction. I read the list, and I literally text you back. I said, "Wait a minute, Trinity from the Matrix? Is that what you said?" And you're like, "Yeah, Trinity from the Matrix." And I'm like, "One of these is not like the other 5." And by one of these is not like the other 5, I mean like one of them is way more superior, and that is Trinity. Everything you guys said about Trinity was all wrong. It was all BS, and you guys should be ashamed of yourself. And we have a council of dorky ass dudes. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm speaking on behalf of me.
4 men of color, or no, 5 men of color. 5 men of color.
It don't matter.
It's fine.
It don't
I'm a
matter.
dork.
We're
It's
still all
fine.
dudes. And I can honestly say that Matrix Resurrections honestly is a beautiful film, and it's
Yes, it
honestly
is.
about Trinity as well. So
It is.
there's that, and also every single Matrix films that we've had, Trinity is not just the representation of who the character is, but what the character became. Video game characters are inspired by Trinity. Characters we know now are inspired by Trinity. Celine from Underworld, Resident Evil, Alice. I can name Ray. I mean, for crying out loud, Trinity inspired so many female action characters, and I just feel like she's by far the most superior character in this entire list. So you should all be ashamed.
Yeah. Listen, and she's computer code too. So like if like really an extra level of like you can't actually stop her. She'd keep leveling up.
Yeah, and she would kill every single person on this list.
Yeah.
Until you unplug her, and then she's just the regular ass person.
No, she actually isn't. If you see the next film,
which was good,
you would see she has powers in real life. So no.
Listen, if you guys feel comfortable voting for Trinity and number 1,
we should all change it.
She's
right
basically the Chat GPT of all these characters. So I don't know where you stand on current people striking or something, but that didn't sit right with me. So
I see. To me, I don't know what that is. For me, I feel like Trinity, in the sense of like Trinity, to me is such a complex, detailed character that the Wachowskis really put a lot of effort in. And if you really look back at the films, you see how much heart and how much of themselves they put inside of that character. I just see an incredible emotional arc, an emotional journey, a character arc that is just so profound over the past 25 years that this character has been around, or 24 years, I guess. But either way, to me, Trinity is just by far the most superior character. And people like John McClane, and no offense, John Wick is, I mean, if I had to pick between them, I don't know, Amarú, if I can spoil that now.
Go ahead. What's your number 2? Because number 2
John Wick is my number 2.
John Wick,
Rick O'Connell
as much as
too, so
as much as I love John Wick, I do feel I just feel like John Wick is just, it doesn't reach the heights of what Trinity is, and I think you guys see a rhythm with who my 1 and 2 is. They both come from the same film. I mean, that's my thing. My thing is like, these characters are iconic for a reason, and again, the Matrix movies inspired so much of action films that we see nowadays. So I don't know. To me, if I had to pick between these two, I would pick John Wick, because I do feel like he is just an absolute tank. And if you need, like RB3 even said it, man, you said if you need someone to fight on your side, who are you picking? John McClane or John Wick?
I'm picking McClane.
I'm picking John Wick. That guy is not going to die.
I'm picking Wick.
McClane is going to get me out of there safely.
How? He would get shot in the head by John Wick.
No, he's gonna outsmart every motherfucker there.
Yep.
And you just gonna end up sneaking around and get the fuck out. That's why I'm picking McClane.
Yeah, John Wick is pure brute force, like pure like aggression.
Like you might get shot on the way out with John Wick.
All right.
He is. Ace, everything you said about Trinity is correct. 100% correct. You are not wrong. Just Rick and John are just in my heart somewhere. And honestly, when I see them, I smile. When I see Trinity, I think. And I like to think, but it's just not as fun. It really isn't. Hey, Bill, you're the only one who's with me on
Wick. You have the correct answer for number 1? Yeah, let's go about this. Okay.
Yes, please.
I actually didn't see John Wick, the first one, until right around the third one came out, because I'm like, I don't fucking care about Keanu Reeves. I don't know, fucking whatever. And then somebody's like, stop being an asshole and go watch John Wick movies. I was like, all right. Give it a whirl. After the first one, I'm like, holy fucking Jesus shit. This was incredible. It is also one of my favorite scenes in the last probably like 15, 20 years is the scene where the basically the Russian mobster is explaining to his son who John Wick is. And that whole introduction is usually like reserved for a villain to build up the villain. Like this is like fucking Thanos is coming and shit. But it's like, no, but this is the fucking main guy of our movie. I don't think you understand the hell you just unleashed on all of us. We are not safe. And then it is just 4 films of murder, of just unadulterated just path of destruction. And I'm sorry, any movie that gives me John Wick and Donnie Yen and fucking Please Yes, 4 is great. I won't hear anything else. That whole apartment fight with the exploding shotguns is it is so good.
So good.
It'll knock your ass in the mud. Then it'll pick it up. Then it's going to wipe you off, get you into a low, false sense of security, take you out to a nice dinner. You're going to have a lovely courtship, and then out of nowhere, before you least expect it, right back in the mud. I fucking love that movie.
Matt said he is the same. I'm sorry. You got the dragon's breath, and then you got nunchucks, and then you got swords, and then you got batons, and then you got axes, and then you got horses.
I'm talking about the fact that it's literally just killing. It's all fucking same. I don't care. It's the same.
In so many different ways. Everybody else
I do not care.
I want to see everyone in the state of fucking Tennessee die, because that is basically what just got murdered.
Oh God, Frankie, you have John at number 2 as well. So go ahead, man.
I do. I mean, listen, I think that he's the new kid on the block. I do think those 4 movies have been consistent. I haven't gotten. Well, excuse me. The first 3 movies have been consistently good. I haven't gotten the chance to see 4 yet.
It's overstuffed and overall.
Regardless, he's the new kid on the block, consistently good. I think what I appreciate about the John Wick movies that I've seen is that they know exactly what they are. They're not trying to be anything other than what they are. People, they know their shtick, they're sticking to it, and they appreciate it. Rick O'Connell, why is he number 1? Because let's be honest, friends, if we're going to hang out with anybody, who do we want to hang out with?
Rick
John
O'Connell.
Who's just going to be talking about just, kind of sad, depressing stuff on a park bench in Central Park? Or are we going to be with Rick O'Connell, who, we might get shot at. And we might have Emotep come chase us, but he's going to make us laugh and smile.
Hey, that's the same reason I'm picking John McClane, because I can have a beer with him after we get out of the bullshit. I'm going to sit there, have a couple laughs. You know that classic line.
That's good. That's a good point. God damn it.
Well, Matt, you had Rick at number 2.
For the same.
John at number 1. Give your final thoughts there, and just your final thoughts on the list in general.
Frankie kind of like what Frankie said about nostalgia. That is part of the reason I have Rick at number 2. He is the closest thing we have gotten to Indiana Jones since Indiana Jones. The first 2 Mummy films are great. Fuck Bill slander. The third one is total dog shit.
The second one's fine, but
no, you said that's the point. You said it's fine. You said it's fine. It's not fine. It's great. It's great. It's great. That film's also spawned a kids series that I grew up on. So I'm gonna throw that in there also. You never watched the animated Mummy series?
No, I've never even. I'm a little older than you, man. So I'm sorry.
Frankie's a little older than me too, and he knows what I'm talking about.
You gotta understand. I grew up in the '80s though, when we gave fucking cartoons to Rambo and RoboCop. We were crazy.
I don't care. And see, you being stuck in the '80s is why you should be putting John McClane higher up.
Anyway, I guess. Ace, any final thoughts on the list in general? Like I said, you had Trinity at 1. You had Wick at 2. Any just thoughts on the list entirety and your top 2?
Yeah, I mean, for me, obviously, it's difficult to measure. I heard how you said, Amarú, that you try not to do superpowered stuff.
For this one, yes. For this one, yeah. But Trinity, she had to be in there. She had to be here.
That's my thing. My thing is like the thing with Trinity is that it's hard to overlook the past that she does have superpowers. But at the same time, it's one of those things where I just feel like the character has stood the test of time. And if you rewatch the first Matrix 1999, there's one character that opens it, and that's Trinity. And there's a reason. They actually replayed that in the final film as well because of the importance of her character. So to me, the character has just stood the test of time more than almost any character I could possibly see on any list of an action hero. So I feel like it's just difficult to look past that and just kind of brush past it and be like, whoa, she's not a dude. Well, yeah, but she's much more significant because of that and in spite of that, I guess. I just feel like she's just a very powerful character. But that being said, since I'm clearly outvoted by a lot, I do feel like John Wick, I'm going to say what I said in our review, RB3. There's actual artistry in these films, and there's actual throwback to old school cinema, Buster Keaton, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan. This is stuff that is not just action. It's artistry to the rhythm, to the camera cuts, to the movement of the camera, to the movement of the stunt performers. There is something special there with what Chad Stahelski is doing in these films. And I feel like John Wick just stands the test of time, or will stand the test of time years from now because of that. And there's a reason why Chapter 4 was one of the biggest movies of the year, is because it does have so much detail. And you're right, Bill, that apartment is like watching like a live action painting. Like it's literally like someone's painting live and you're just enjoying it. It's just art. It really just is art. So shout out to John Wick.
Yeah, Frankie, you got to tell me how you feel when you see that scene, because it's beautiful.
Oh
for
my
real.
God, yeah.
Bill, you had Bourne. You had Jason at number 2.
Yeah.
So just final thoughts on that and just the list in general as well.
So I know I talked about John McClane and like what a completely out of the box casting that was, and how that fundamentally altered action movies forever, because everything in the 80s become let's find that whole thing, and everything is Die Hard on a blank. So, and I feel like the same thing happened with Jason Bourne, where everything was getting insane, everything was nuts, and then all of a sudden we have fucking the Goodwill Hunting kid come along and say, "Hey, I'm a beat the fuck out of everybody." We're like, yeah, no, you're not. And then, fuck if he didn't. Jesus Lord, that first movie is like amazing. It's just the insaniest fights. Everything is kinetic. It is just constant, nonstop. And then the first 3 are that good. I haven't seen someone realistically get the shit beat out of them with a magazine since it pissed off my grandmother when I was 6 because I accidentally made an 800 call. And like, I believe every fucking minute of everything happening on there. And then we get to those other 2 films, which are just, I don't know.
We don't count the 4th one because that wasn't Bourne. That wasn't.
He's
Bourne.
not in
We don't count the 4th one.
I know he's not in there. I'm just saying, I don't know what the fuck that was.
That was they refused to back the Brinks truck up for Matt Damon, so they said, all right, well, have fun trying this without
I
me.
think Jeremy Renner's free. Fucking why not? That was cool.
Yeah,
and then it's whatever. We got a weekend because we tried to do this. It's okay, but and that's the only reason why he's my number 2 is because those are 3 like damn near perfect movies, and I can watch them and I enjoy them every time. Like they are just so good. And then he is surrounded by heavyweights just constantly, and he never feels out of place. And that is not an easy thing to do.
That's why he was my number 3. That's why I put him above John Wick, because he was John Wick before John Wick.
Sure. Fine. Whatever. RB3, give us your final thoughts, man. You had Trinity at 1. You had McClane at 1, Trinity at 2. And then any other thing you really wanted to say about the rest of the list? Your final thoughts on the list in general.
Yeah, no, listen, man. Listen, I hear what everybody's saying with John Wick. I think those movies are the most consistent. So I think, of course, he gets credit for that. But I feel like that almost, man, if I'm being real, I just feel like that kind of like, that's why I kind of put him as my number 3, though, because like we've seen him do the same thing so many times. We haven't really seen him get into the witty like kind of aspect, or we haven't seen him get into like the Batman is great because he's the world's greatest detective. He's not great because he's like beating up goons left and right. He's great because he used his mind. You know what I mean? John Wick is a phenomenal action hero, but he's not as heady or as mindful as either John McClane or as Trinity. I feel like Trinity is
he's not a well-rounded hero, is what you're saying.
Exactly. I feel like, other people could come up with a plan, could kind of formulate some way to get you out of a situation. John Wick's going to shoot you out of a situation. And if you don't know his level of gun fu, crazy shooting, then you're not going to get out of it with him. Whereas, McClane, he's going to find a vent. He's going to find something to get you out. Trinity is going to hack you into the Matrix and, teach you some Jesus powers to get you out. So, that I think that is really what that's the main difference. I think that's why I kind of put them as where I put them. And again, there just would not be a John Wick without a John McClane. There just wouldn't be the basic hero archetype that we have today without John McClane. So it's like, I gotta always show respect to the OGs before the new kids. So that's why McClane's my number 1.
Yeah, that makes sense. And just to recap it all, you can see who we have as our 1 through 4s here, who we have to stay. Me and Bill have John Wick, RB3 and Matt have John McClane. Frankie, again, you have my heart as Rick O'Connell, and Ace coming in with the beautiful monologue, as always, because Trinity is deserving to be there.
Shit, this is going to be close, isn't it?
But the way this works, it is a tournament. And we have our 4 finalists, and we need 2 more to round out the final bracket of this tournament. So unlike the past decades, the top 2 here are going to move on. The top 2 are going to move on. And the way it works is if you were given a first place vote, then you got 5 points. If you were given a second place vote, you got 3. And if you were given a third place vote, you got 1. So we are looking for our top 2. And Chance Boudreaux didn't have a shot. Like, not one. That's why he got 0 points.
I mean, he was my number 4. I mean, but it's fine. But you're all wrong.
4 is 0
Claude
points.
Van Damme didn't die for your sins for you to disrespect him like that.
He didn't die at all. He's alive, isn't he?
Yes,
He's
he
eating
is.
cookies and milk. That's all he's doing.
Trinity coming in strong, especially with that first place with 8 points. John Wick, the first and second, getting him up there, 17. So he's looking pretty good. Jason Bourne, he's a little low there. Only with 5, but it's all right. Rick O'Connell has 10. So as of now, John Wick is in, and that first place vote carried him a lot, and so did that second. So it's between Rick and John McClane for that second spot. And moving on to the final is one Mr. John McClane. So we have as our last 2 spots in the final of our One Action Hero. John McClane and John Wicks, the Johns, are moving on to join the finale of another pretty damn stacked tournament. From the 80s, we got Dutch, Predator. From the 90s, we got Sarah Connor from All Things Terminator. From the 2000s, we got The Bride, Beatrix Hill. From the 2010s, because yes, that's where we put him, one Mr. Hunt. In rounding out the top 6 are the Johns, John Wick, and John McClane. Tune in next week. We are going to have a Tuesday episode with some pretty great panelists joining us for that final to figure out who is the one action hero above the wall. I'd like to thank my panel. Matt, you look confused, so tell us what the confusion is and then tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
I'm just confused how Dutch got in over John McClane for the 80s with one movie.
He did. Just look, go back and watch the episode. They loved him back there.
Okay. You can find me over at Watt Real Entertainment. We are currently in pre-production for our first original content. That is a Star Wars fan film we're doing called The Hunted. So be looking out for updates on that via Twitter and the YouTube channel soon. My Haunted Mansion review drops tomorrow, so you can go check that out. And then Monday, I forget what time, my review for Winning Time Season 2 drops. So check that out also.
Cool. Thank you, sir. Frankie, love you, sir. Appreciate you so much. Let the people know where they can find you and what you got going on in your life.
Thank you. I appreciate coming back. It was a good time. You can find me at the Frank Alvarez on all forms of social media except for Twitter because someone had it from 2012 and won't give it up. And there you can find me at FAlvarez8085. And then I co-host the Basement Yard podcast. New episodes every single Monday. Yeah, it's good old fun time. So go check me out there and at Santa Gato Studios on all socials.
They are hilarious. Pop-Tarts will never be the same again.
I got a couple more.
That fucking rant is in the Internet Hall of Fame.
I got a couple more boxes, bro. If you want one, I got a couple more right here for you.
Beautiful. Ace, thank you so much, sir. You are always just a pleasure to have on and to talk to. Let people know where they can find you and what you got going on, sir.
Yeah, you can find me obviously on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, I guess, at Squad Leader Ace, and our channel at First Cut. Obviously, RB3's there as well. So make sure you guys subscribe that.
No, Nick. No.
Twitter.
Bill, let the people know.
I'm not fucking calling it X. I don't care. I'm sorry.
No, not at all. Bill, where can people find you and what you got going on?
I'm an asshole. I don't know. No, I think I'm actually Philadelphia on everything, or Philadelphia, PA at least, because you gotta rep the hometown. You can also find me on, I believe it's just called the Video Store. It's a channel on here. I help run a trivia league there called TLU, or Trivia League Unlimited. We're actually in the process of crowning our inaugural champion. So it's a lot of fun. You can imagine me wearing a fucking China O'Brien t-shirt, the kind of questions that are going to come up. They're going to be fucking weird. So yeah, it's a good time. So, yeah.
And RB3, I'm so very happy you're able to get on, sir. Better late than never. I appreciate you, sir. Let the people know where they can find you and what you got going on.
Yeah, my bad. I'm on CP time. I'm talking about Compton time, baby. You know what I mean? Yeah, sorry about that. My apologies, y'all. But thanks again for having me. You follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Director RB3. And like Andres said, you can follow our channel, First Cut, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at First Cut TMO. And you can also follow my production company, Burning Ashes Productions, on Instagram. Yeah, that's where we're at. And keep up to date with all the short films and projects that we got cooking up. So
don't leave it at that, man. You just had 2 films at film festivals going out. Tell the people about it, please.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, we got two projects out right now in the Static. That's written by Danny Fernandez and directed by myself. And then we also have The Comic Shop, which is a comedy, like a workplace comedy. That is they're both not out yet. They're both in the film festival circuits. But you can follow Burning Ashes for more updates on that. But yeah, thank you. Just trying to do that film thing.
Hey, the man is talented. No riddle this week. Y'all know what the choices are. I only do riddles when we don't know the choices. So come back next time. You'll get one at the end of that episode. But for Matt, for Frankie, for Ace, for Bill, and for one director, RB3, appreciate y'all. We are out of here.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.